I think government key accounts is a slightly different ballgame altogether. It's something that again it is the partnership between the two organizations. It's between, let's say, your organization and the government institute. In government institutes, a lot of emphasis, unlike the private sector, is on pricing, right? Except for the fact that if you are proprietary products and if you have patented products, you sort of have an edge over the others. But otherwise, if you have your generics or a branded generic, it revolves around pricing. So your appetite to sort of play around with those G2Ns that you have in order to see that the account delivers profitable growth, unlike the brands delivering individual profitability targets and so on and so forth. So the account needs to holistically, a portfolio that you're targeting for the government business delivers profitable growth. So that is one thing that you would look at. The other thing is that for government business, the stakeholders are more complex and they are multiple in nature, right? So as a result of which, the exact profiling of this becomes even more important and critical. So the decision makers are at different levels. So you have a doctor or an HCP who will make a decision on, let's say, whether a drug is required, not required, so on and so forth. You will have somebody in the purchase department who would also be equally important, and the HCP doesn't have a upper hand as compared to him or her. And then you will have somebody who's just not a scientific guy. He probably is an IS officer, or he's somebody who's just not from a background and doesn't understand, or doesn't he feels that, by and large, all other drugs would give you, or all alternate therapies, and then therefore the need. So what happens is, when you're managing these multiple critical decision makers, you also need multiple critical decision makers of your company representing. So you don't go as a sole person there. You will go as a team. So you'll go with your regulatory, you will go with your medical, you will go with your CAM team, and then you will represent. So that's extremely important there. In the government business. So pricing is one thing. Second is your multiple stakeholder management, and third most important is the risk management. I think you've got to foresee certain risks that are coming, and have a mitigation plan in place. So the appetite for risk from an organization perspective, you've got to judge and then accordingly take decisions.
Government healthcare policy making is still at its nascent stage in India. And unfortunately, healthcare is a state subject. So, it does require the people to get involved quite early in the therapy shaping and policy advocacy. And I think, it's a great time to be in India, wherein India is focusing both on innovation and access. And I think, that's one learning which we can get. Everyone has. Get involved early. It's a tough nut. It's a tough case, as Rachna mentioned. But you know what? There is an appetite to understand and really absorb it. So I think there is a silver lining, but it's something that you have to invest quite a bit early.